Hello and welcome to Topic, quick webinars by Rigaku. This webinar is on how to work from home. I'm Scott Bendel, Chief Information Officer for Rigaku Americas Holdings. Our team has basically supported all of Rigaku employees outside of Japan. I've been with Rigaku for 18 years, the last 10 in information services. Today I'm going to review with you some of the benefits, challenges, and tools around working from home. The COVID-19 virus has rapidly reshaped our world. Work from home was viewed skeptically by many companies, and now in a tremendous rush, it has become a norm for many of us. This may be your first experience working from home, or this may be your longest extended time that you find yourself working from home. I work at the Rigaku location in Michigan, but my team is at the Woodlands office in Texas. I travel there once a month, well, prior to the virus outbreak. You could say I've been, in a sense, working from remotely from 10 years. So this gives me some experience I might be able to share with you. What is the typical experience working from home? In a GitLab survey, 90% of respondents were enthusiastic about the experience. 84% said that they could accomplish all their tasks. They also felt their managers understood how to manage a team of teleworkers. Now, this rating of 84% is probably for experienced teams. Managers new to dealing with telework are in for new challenges and may take some time adjusting to a new way of working. In some cases, the struggles they had were either related to the change in environment or lacking equipment such as scanners or printers. What are the downsides? 40% of people surveyed reported some difficulties with distractions during working from home. We can break those down into interruptions, distractions, priorities, and issues with routine. We'll discuss each of these further to better understand them. Interruptions. These are the things that come from the outside. A delivery driver wanting to leave a package for your neighbor, family, or friends that don't quite understand that while you're at home, you really are at work. Some tactics that help are closed doors, do not disturb signs, or noise-canceling headphones. And some of it will just take time. You are training yourself to work in a new environment, and in some respects, you are training your environment, your family and friends, to your new work mode. Distractions. This is my dog, Aspen. She's great at distracting. She'd never seen a pig ear before, and she was really excited. So at home, there are different noises that you may be online more. There may be increased access to websites that you are not used to, and news can be a real distraction with concerns about what is happening right now. So the best tip is try to restrict your checking on the news and social media to some short breaks like lunchtime or some short break periods. Concerns about collaboration. 35% of survey participants were concerned about collaboration. There are also probably some level of visibility concerns. Your boss can't see how hard you're working, so how can they know you're contributing? The good news is there are plenty of tools you have used for a long time to help. Phone calls, email are the ones you're most familiar with. You can also use video conferencing tools like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, WebEx, etc. The tool my team uses constantly is Zoom Chat. We have it running in the background throughout our day, commenting, sharing, sending screenshots on issues or files all through chat. This really helps to keep us connected. Finally, if you do want to create some visibility with your boss on what you've been up to, consider a weekly report of your activities. I've done this for years. Create a reminder on your calendar every Friday, make notes there throughout the week, and create a bulletized email to your boss about your week. Ultimately, I feel I do this more for myself than I do for my boss because it helps remind me of the things I've accomplished in the month or the last year. Channels of communication. First of all, don't be this guy. Pick the right channel of communication. Don't let things get to this point. In a minute, we'll discuss each of these in more detail. Face-to-face communication is, of course, the most complete method. It has context and nuance that's hard to replicate, and unfortunately, it is the one channel that is not available to us right now. We have email, which is convenient, phone, which can provide more nuance, or video chat that works best when communicating topics with some complexity, like what we're doing today. Sometimes email is quite bluntly a cop-out. Temporarily lost our most valuable channel of communication. So what do we do with the other ones we have available? So the best use for email, it's quick questions that are faster to write than to call, follow-ups when you don't want to appear too aggressive or pushy. Your prospect can answer at their convenience. When you need a written record of the correspondence, or when discussing a very detailed and complex series of steps that are important to have in writing to refer to, such as new procedures or instructions for software. This may be painful for email lovers to hear, but anything more complicated than that, it's usually best off settling with a phone call. In Fast Company's 30-second MBA, Aaron Quitkin, CEO of Quitkin & Company, gave a standard rule for email and phone calls. Anything you have to think about, anything you think might be sensitive, anything that you think requires relationship skills, you should absolutely pick up the phone. I also encourage you to use a chat tool like Zoom Chat. It creates a rapid channel for discussions. You can share pictures, screenshots, files, and it's searchable. You can cut back on your email using a tool like this. Other times, only a phone call or video conference will do. Video conferences are the next best thing to be in there. Sometimes they're the next worst thing to be in there. Sometimes we're left rubbing our eyes at the screen, wondering how a client got insulted by a routine email. What hidden message did she or he see, and how could there have been room for misunderstanding? A note about humans: it takes less effort for people to talk than to write. When we talk, we usually end up providing more information than when we're writing a letter or an email. Call when conveying anything that's negative or sensitive. This provides much more personalization, which is crucial in this day and age. It helps build a solid relationship with the person you're calling. Video conferencing is another very good option. You can see the people you're communicating with, share images, charts, and graphs, and review complex information more easily than the other methods with two-way communication that helps to reduce misinterpretation. Ultimately, being a true communication master in your professional life means giving less thought about the most comfortable mode of communication and more thought to choosing the best communication tool for each situation. Think about what your context requires, and you will find yourself experiencing better communication and better results. Adjusting to working from home. So now you're working from home. We've kind of thrown you out there. How do you adjust? What concerns might you have? Isolation, loneliness, loss of connectivity, how to deal with motivation issues, setting your routine, and even switching off can all be issues. Also, as you can see by this tweet, you may have to contend with working in the same space as your spouse for the first time. I kind of like this. She said, pro tip for couples suddenly working from home together: get yourselves an imaginary coworker to blame things on. In our apartment, Cheryl keeps leaving her dirty water cups all over the place, and we really don't know what to do about her. I think that's a humorous way to address it. Isolation and loneliness. Dealing with loneliness and isolation right now are very real things. Don't underestimate the impact. Many tips around working from home have been tossed out the window right now. If you look up tips for working from home written in the before times, they have ideas like use a co-working space, or work at a coffee shop, or attend a fitness class. Clearly, you can't do any of those right now. What can you do? Use chat tools with your teams, make phone calls, do video conferences, and don't forget to get up and away from your computer. Eat lunch in a different space, walk your dog at lunch. Things that break up your day will help you feel more energized. Motivation. Recognize that motivation can be a struggle right now. Maintain your normal schedule. We'll talk about that more in a moment. Use the time you would have spent commuting to exercise or do something to start your day off on a positive note. Get dressed and don't spend every day in sweats. Don't work in your bedroom. You want to maintain separation about that is clearly a sleeping space. Have a work-related side project, so if you hit a wall, you can switch gears for a little while, do something different, break it up. Routine. Bringing work into the home confuses your routine. You're not commuting, you're not eating lunch away from home, the coffee's better, but so many other things are different. Again, work regular hours and dress how you normally would for work if you were doing a video conference. Otherwise, be comfortable, but wear clothes that at least make you feel good about yourself. Try to establish a workspace that you can mentally associate with concentration. Dan Sinker, a podcaster I listen to, has been working from home for nearly 9 years, and his quote is really good advice. Be more rigid with your schedule than you think you need to be. If you are not careful with your time, you can mistakenly let it too much creep into your day and end up extending your day out of feelings of guilt for not being as focused as you might normally be at work. Switching off. Issues around switching off can be the opposite or very connected to motivation. Some people will just struggle with switching off. Some will continue working extra hours in part out of stress, trying to show they are contributing. Some will stretch out their day out of guilt caused by distractions. This is where maintaining a routine will help you manage your day. Setting up your work from home location. Some things you'll need to work from home or a company issue computer. Those of us in IT do not like personal computers on a corporate network because we don't know if it's properly updated, if it has the right antivirus software, or is already infected in some way. An extra monitor is really nice to have. Try to choose a chair that is decent ergonomics. Wi-Fi can be a challenge in some neighborhoods. You won't have business class service at home. For example, in the afternoons, our neighborhood, the Wi-Fi slows down because kids are online gaming. And at some of our offices with VoIP phones, we're able to forward phone calls to individuals' mobile phones. Pay attention to ergonomics. Do not work while sitting on a bed or a couch for long periods of time. A separate monitor and keyboard and mouse will help you get in a more ergonomic position. Drink plenty of water and remember to take breaks throughout the day. Normally, work, you're getting up to go to the copier, check in with a colleague, etc. These breaks are important for your body to be moving. It does not change because you're at home. Some additional home office items. Many companies will provide VPN, a virtual private network, access to certain network services. This is a secure method of connection to protect company data. Printer, scanner are nice to have. An external USB backup is always a good idea. A shredder for sensitive company documents. Preparing for a video conference. Use a headset of some form for improved audio quality. Even earbuds you get with your phone will do. You can hear everyone better, and nobody likes to hear the echo of your room. Be careful about room lighting. An inexpensive ring light that clips on your computer is less than $20. Try to find an area that is not too distracting for your background, or use a virtual background available in Zoom. Finally, avoid patterns and plaids on a video conference. They can create a strange distraction, some strange artifacts on the camera, and be really annoying. Finally, under video settings in Zoom, you can choose Touch Up My Appearance, which evens out your skin tone. Video conferencing does not have to be a painful experience. Check your sound and microphone before starting the meeting. All video conferences applications have a way to test before joining. Speak in a normal tone, don't shout, and just keep talking. Assume you're being heard. Someone will let you know if you are not. Mute your microphone when you're talking to eliminate background noises. A video feed is often not as quick as real life, so if you make rapid movements, you may appear jumpy or jerky on screen. Successful video conferencing. In large format video conferences, you need to do some things slightly different. Announce yourself when you start speaking. This helps the video equipment switch to your site and also helps other sites identify who is speaking before the video monitor catches up. In the picture, you can see there's a guy that's the largest picture in the center. That's typically the person that's addressing the audience, the person that's speaking. So if a different person starts speaking, their picture is going to move to the center. So you want to have give the equipment time to catch up. Mute your mic when you're not speaking. Be direct about who you're addressing. Normal cues of looking at someone just don't work. As much as you can, look into the camera when speaking. You will also want to watch people's faces for reactions, so like a normal conversation. So just create the best balance you can. Finally, mute, mute, mute. It helps others. Any sounds you make will be heard by the other sites and can be distracting. Can't emphasize that enough. Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity concerns don't take a day off because you're working from home. There are growing cases of COVID-19 related scams out there. And then one of the new things is SMS or text attacks. They're a growing vector. They send a link that leads you to a website requesting personal information. So be very cautious. Wrap up. Remember, almost everyone is new to this. Be aware of distractions and interruptions. Choose the right channel of communication. Be prepared for the emotional aspects of work from home. Maintain a schedule. Set up a workspace for success. Don't be fearful of video conferencing. It's a new tool you need. Continue to be vigilant about cybersecurity and look at this as an adventure and learn to enjoy the experience. Since I'm not doing this for an audience, there'll be no questions. And I want to say thank you for your time.